Morning. I'm Scott Smith. We are breaking into national coverage to bring you the local angle of this terrorist attack in America.
And I am Stephanie Hept. It has been a rough day for people all across the United States. And the ripple effects of this apparent terrorist attack are still having an effect and continue to flow through central Iowa. You know, we heard Senator Hillary Clinton saying there's no need to panic. Although people are lining up at gas stations across the city.
So you don't want to take the chance on it skyrocketing?
Can't afford that right now.
What'd you think when you saw this line of cars?
I was like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Everybody's just panicking. The stores are crowded.
The flip side of this day, a day of tragedy and terror for Americans, is the expression of volunteerism. Americans helping Americans.
God calls us in the Bible to pray for your enemies, and right now I don't want to pray for them. You know, I have to, but God calls us to, but yet I don't really feel that connection with them.
It'll just show us that one day they will be brought to trial and they will be punished, and whether it be here on earth or up in heaven.
Other kids who are now orphans because of somebody else wants to go out and kill as many people as they can. It's terrible.
My daughter went to kindergarten and watched it on TV and came home and asked me what was going on. As a parent, I'm asking, what do I tell my 6-year-old?
The vulnerability everyone has experienced brought questions some thought would never have to be asked. The meeting didn't end before slivers of racial tension surfaced.
We say that we're Arab Americans and we love this country as much as anybody else here. This is our country. But yet, I never see them running to go sign to fight for us, to join the military like our kids.
Not for a minute think that we won't shed our blood for this country, because this is our home. Whether you like it, anybody likes it or not, but this is our home.
It's true to say we will never be the same after this September the 11th, 2001.
Very few of us have anything to compare today's attack to in our lives. In the coming days, the disbelief will subside, replaced by grief, sorrow, and the search for answers as to who and why. Tonight, President Bush tried to comfort a nation shocked by the attacks.
Search is underway for those who are behind these evil acts. I've directed the full resources of our intelligence and law enforcement communities to find those responsible and to bring them to justice.
Many Valley residents spent a sleepless night thinking about and talking about the terrorist attacks. At this IHOP restaurant at 44th Street in Thomas and Phoenix, two brothers looked over a special edition of the newspaper.
Couldn't sleep because of what happened back east. It's kind of disturbing on my mind.
Just one of the most horrific things that ever happened since Pearl Harbor. I mean, when you see a plane going into a building like that,
it just feels strange. It just feels weird. It's something like, you know, all the security and everything that they talk about we have, you know, how someone can interrupt it and get through it like that and just, you know, take 4 planes.
We have a lot to report on tonight as we take a look at the local aspects of this terrible attack of yesterday morning. The latest, just a short time ago, there have been some threats against Muslims in our community here in the Valley of the Sun, leading tonight to heightened security at area mosques.
This is not the first time. Anytime anything happened, I mean, outside of the United States, we get tons of threatening calls, and we had a few incidents where this place was attacked. It is very frightening.
This president really needs our prayers. I think he needs much wisdom now, because he must respond. But being the president of a free democratic nation, he must respond with caution and with a great deal of wisdom.
My
first response when I heard about this thing was, well, we still want to play because just don't let them stop what we're doing, you know. But then after I went home and looked at it on television and saw what was happening, then my feeling was, man, how can you play a ball game, you know, with I mean, how can you go out there and cheer when you got this many people dead?
By the dawn's early light, our flag was still there. That's a message everyone needs to remember. We've been through this before. We'll survive this. Everybody needs to stay cool. Remember, we are the greatest country in the world.
Whether tragedy's happening or not, we still have to move forward. That's part of what made America great.
I think one of the most important things we need to do is to send a message that those even related to or in any way involved with these types of acts need to fear for retaliation from the United States.
I just don't understand. What are we doing that's that wrong? I mean, I'm gonna go down to a flag shop and get a flag. But thousands of people. I mean, what? Why?